Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I'm back with another replay that I took from the casted section of Reddit StarCraft 2. Hang on just a second, and I'm gonna go ahead and fix something real quick. It would appear that... hang on. Just gonna crank up the volume just a teeny bit, and see how that shows up in the after effects of all this. I had it cranked down to like 19% or something like that, and I thought my voice was like 5 times louder than that of what was happening in-game. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and give both players their introduction. Upper left-hand corner, spawning as our Terran in the red trunks. His name is Joker. Yes, just Joker. Lower right-hand corner, spawning as our blue Terran. His name is Weiman. Yes, Weiman. I don't know. I'm thinking, this could potentially be a Chinese name. I guess that's just what I'm thinking. As far as I know, neither of these players, have any outstanding records before them or outstanding performance before them. But let's go ahead and just talk about the map for a teeny bit, huh? Natural here, relatively easy to defend, but I mean, the mobility of Terran on one base is just a little absurd sometimes. It can work against Terran opponents or even, any non-Terrans. This natural is pretty wide open, leaves for, some potentially good tank spread. I want to say even an extra tank right here could go down. Even one right here, and I mean, like, the mobility of a Terran army is just unbelievable. I wouldn't say the speed necessarily, but definitely the mobility. 1-1-1 openers and things of the such. Excuse me. Speaking of openers, I should have had the production tab open earlier. Weiman is throwing down his first refinery right now, and Joker is throwing down, well, he's had his finished for a while. I'm a little curious, is this going to lead to a Reaper opener? It could very well be one. Just looking at what we have right now, see, he's waiting, he's not producing a Marine first. Orbital Command into Reaper. Orbital Command as well for Weiman, but no Reaper. So I'm just a little bit curious as to what kind of an opener we're going to be seeing, and I'm thinking, with the kind of opener that we see from both players, it's cross-position spawns. I'm just thinking to myself, this could be one of those games that we're watching for the long run. It really could be. I mean, just think about the distance to travel from here to here. And of course, the siege tank wars, they would just be, oof, I wouldn't say awful, but, definitely hard to cope with. First Reaper is out. I do apologize. Made the mistake of calling that out wrong. SCV going to the upper left-hand corner from Weiman. He's going to get a thorough read on just what is going on from Joker. Just get a look at this. And he sees that he can't get into the main. So he's basically locked out. This is all the vision that he has. I'm wondering what Joker can see from Weiman. Absolutely nothing thus far, but he did just get into the main with that Reaper. What is he doing here? Is he waiting for a second one to show up to the party? He does have 2 Reapers now. Of course, it's going toe-to-toe with some of these Marines. I think he could get a legit chance to kill that SCV, but no, it's just bait. Both of these players actually really strong. I really think, at least with the micro that we just saw from Weiman, that micro, it even leads me to believe that perhaps in Wings of Liberty he also played Zerg at one point. And I'm thinking we're going to see some early Hellbats. Yeah. Why is that? Armory. Armory. That was the whole story. We do have the Reapers just basically shooting away here at the supply depots. Not quite getting in. But one thing I want to highlight is that both of these Reapers could take on these Marines no problem. And it looks like we could actually see him in a good position to do a little bit of economic damage, but no, the Hellions come out just in time to save the day. Reaper number 1 shot down. Reaper number 2 goes home with 2 kills. Not sure if either of those are worker kills. Looks like Joker, up until this point, has managed to kill a single Reaper. And I hope you guys will forgive the sound of lightning in the background. It's summertime in Oklahoma, and this is tornado country. Alright, it looks like we have a definitive sort of biomech-ish follow-up coming from Joker. I mean, like, come on, factory with a tech lab on it that basically says we're going to see tanks. Tank Marine composition. And a starport coming from Weiman right now. I guess he's not done harassing just yet. And a second command center going down right now for Weiman. Meanwhile, the one that we have coming from Joker is just now finishing up. And so far, you know, both players just kind of taking the time, trying to figure out what's going on, you know, what they should do against each other, that kind of thing. Still have 2 Reapers here from Joker. I was unaware that a 3rd one was ever made, but, you know, Hellbat's quite powerful. Hellbat, strong unit. And the Reapers run right by him. Oh my god, 1 HP Reaper gets shut down. So I'm thinking perhaps, just perhaps, if Joker was paying attention, he will know what's up. I mean, he was basically pulling the Reaper out of there, so that leads me to believe that he knows what's up right now. What's his response? He's going into kind of defensive mode. I guess the only thing that's really working for him right now is the fact that the distance between both ends of the map is actually quite large, and a double Hellbat drop, well, could do a lot of economic damage, could also have a lot of potential to go wrong. We do have a supply depot going down here, so that'll give Joker a little bit of extra time to actually scout if, you know, if he can't see what's going on. But it's also going to act as a trip mine to anything that tries to break down these rocks. The back door, if you will. 2 tanks in the main. It looks like they're just getting ready to shut down whatever comes their way. Missile turret going down as well. Missile turret just now getting started at the natural. But I mean, if those Hellbats get dropped, you know, there's like, you know, in the natural at least, there's no economic damage to be done. Unfortunately, he makes that mistake. You know. Eh. 5 worker kills, not the most damaging, but Marines, of course, can shut down these medevacs. Will they? Sick micro coming from Weiman. I never would have thought, but holy hell, those Hellbats are strong units, aren't they, guys? All 4 of them still alive. It looks like they're going to force some delayed mining time here. Getting a few SCV kills. They're getting dropped on top of the Marines as they are popping out. My god. Just how long is this game going to last, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I really want to know. Looks like the tanks can't really take them out with, you know, I wouldn't say they could take them out with relative ease, but in all of that, they only managed to get 2 Hellbat kills. Behind this, it seems that Weiman is going to try and, you know, that was pretty good. He took it into an expo behind that. Altogether, he has 31 workers as opposed to 29 of Joker. And the missile turret at the natural just finished up, so yeah. I gotta say, altogether, Weiman really gotta be feeling comfortable after all of that. Production tab, if we just look at that, you know, I think the only problem with what he has right now is if he faces off against a bunch of Marauders, because Marauders, while they don't do a lot of damage to Hellbats, they do manage to slow them down. Hellbats are not really considered armor units, they're considered light. That means if Zerg wants to kill them with Banelings that are at default damage values, that is to say with no armor upgrades, then Zerg needs anywhere from 3 to 4 Banelings to get them. 4 or 5 Banelings, actually. You know, just altogether really strong units. Joker coming down already, and it looks like, uh-oh, no, the tank's trapped here. Yes, even with the supply depot lowered, these tanks were kind of trapped here. I think. Unless his aim was never to pull them out to begin with. Simultaneously, we also have Weiman throwing out another drop. Joker coming back down here, and the Hellbat going for another drop in. The natural, looks like they're going to get a couple of SCV kills to say the very least. The Hellbats can't get picked back up safely, they just can't be. And meanwhile behind this we saw that Joker went ahead and threw down, or not Joker, but Weiman went ahead and threw down a motion sensor tower. Vikings, 3 versus 1, 3 Vikings wins. These 2 tanks are going to have a chance to siege up, but meanwhile we have a double medevac drop going into the main of Weiman right now. So curious, how did this drop get shut down over here at the natural for Joker? Curious thing, but of course we're coming back into the middle of the action for Weiman at his own base. If we check the tank count right now, I want to say yes, it is strongly, well, Weiman's at double his opponent's tank count, but if we just think of what that means for a minute, not that much in this early stage of the game. "36 workers now to 43. Of course, Weiman having a lead on that in that department. Biggest problem is right now, I think, for bro, that Widow Mine. I don't know if our Terran actually saw that. I don't know if Blue Terran actually saw that. But if that makes a connection, oh my god, it would be sick. Meanwhile, we got a poke coming at the back door, if you will, of Weiman, and I'm thinking this has a lot of potential to do damage because Weiman is just completely oblivious. For all he knows, those rocks are still there. That's the most important part of it. Looks like the Widow Mine got set off here. Of course, the Hellbats that it connected with are being shut down right now. Smile Bioforces, and it looks like a huge hit to the economy of Weiman is now underway. And it looks like he's actually pulling back. He is, but he's just doing it the wrong way. The orbital command will fall. There's no changing that. Marines, Marauders going into the main. I think this is the one chance we're going to see Joker to actually have to do some damage. And there it is, a stim into the main. How many workers is he going to kill here? Oh my god, if he could actually kill that orbital command, he does! It's huge! Now all he has to be able to do is hold the inevitable push back that we're going to see from Weiman. I mean, just checking the income right now, it's in shambles for Weiman, at least temporarily. If he could put everything here on the third, he'd be in a pretty okay position, I think. If we check the worker count right now, he lost relatively little from that. You know, he's about even with Joker in terms of losses, but if we check the main army count, like what we actually see here, this is kind of annoying, I'll bet, from our Red Terran. Oh, scan going down at the wrong position. The single Widow Mine is not preventing him from moving out. It's just not, but I think with that... Oh wait, I'm sorry, that was actually probably a scan from Joker we just saw. My mistake, yeah, that would be a much more accurate assessment. But behind this, we also see Joker's going for a third as well, but his third is not going to be right here where it should be, or where it would probably be a little more safe, but possibly over here in the less expected area of the map. Meanwhile, Natural being rebuilt, Main being rebuilt when it's almost, it's non-existent. There's only 6 mineral patches here. Still, one of those mineral patches will pay for the command center to be rebuilt. That's about it. Meanwhile, medevac dropped down over here. It looks like, ooh, it just got shut down, absolutely shut down without a single worker kill, but a lot of delayed mining time. That's actually making a huge difference right here. This is allowing Joker to come back. Behind this, we see him getting concussive shells. 17 minutes into the game, just finishing up. 18 minutes into the game, just finishing up. +2 on the way, as well as +1 vehicle weapons. I'm sorry, guys, for some stupid reason. It's just what I have to deal with this one observer interface. I have to actually put my mouse below each icon to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, Joker's third is just getting saturated, and he's rebuilding a fourth right here. I'm a little curious. He's building a fourth right here. I'm just a little curious as to why he chose right there. Altogether, if we see who's lost more up until this point, it's pretty obvious that it's Joker. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, we have to see why Weiman didn't immediately retaliate. It's because he didn't have the income to kind of... What's the word I'm looking for? He didn't have the income to remax ASAP. So if we had seen Joker hold the immediate retaliation that we would see from Weiman, and then Joker push back, then basically we'd see Weiman lose. He would have no way to keep up with the production. I believe this is another scan coming from, I want to say, our Red Terran. But another double medevac drop going down at the Natural. It's not an orbital command, instead it's a command center. It looks like both of these medevacs are going to get shut down. If we could see him take down that Raven, it would be kind of big. But it looks like he gets a few worker kills behind that. 15 at 13. And behind us, I think Joker, the whole reason why he took this expo is because he wanted to, it goes without saying what he wanted to do, basically. He was trying to get ahead economically. He's being sneaky. If we can see this, he's actually doing a damn good job of that. I mean, altogether if we saw, you know, just how long it's taking for Weiman to get both of those orbital commands back up and running. But behind this, he's just turtling perfectly fine. It wouldn't hurt to get some SCVs in there to repair his more critical units, the Raven, the tanks, and so on and so forth.
Upgrade.
And I'm a little curious, where's the scan going down that we just saw, or we just heard? It's kind of hard to figure out. Double motion sensor towers back up and online again. Both of them in the middle of a mineral line. Just trying to stay alive, essentially. Meanwhile, Joker tacking on the numbers again. I'm wondering, you know, just what are his tanks at? 0-1, while we have Weiman's tanks at 1-1. We need to see those tanks siege up. He's got to realize he's going straight into an engagement point. This is really dangerous for both players. And it looks like Joker actually kind of... Oh, no. That was bad. He lost a few Marines in that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Raven Hunter Sneaker Missile is actually going to do a lot of damage here. And he's got enough for one more. He can take out that tank in the center, but I don't know. That's for that orange tank right down there. Barely still alive. What we need to see is some mules getting thrown down on it. Speaking of mules, it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw down some mules on this pile of tanks. Then again, they are critical to income. But this of all things! Oh my god! One tank. That had a lot of potential to do a ton more damage to Joker. It really did. Like, I mean, if the Marines hadn't stinned up and come in to save, it would have been a completely different story. I do need to also take the moment to highlight that we need to see Joker be extremely careful with his stims. Presently, he has no medevacs. The first two have just... Excuse me, he's got 4 altogether, but he's waiting for them to get all together with his present Marines that are over here accompanying these tanks. And right now, this is basically a contain. We're probably going to see Joker try and take a few more expos behind this. Hellbat kind of walks out into the line of fire for these tanks. Not good. You know, every bit of that is super precious. It really is. Meanwhile, SCV is being pulled. I'm not sure if they're being thrown away. They shouldn't be... No, they shouldn't be getting thrown away. They should be here to repair. Exactly. That's where they've been clicked to go. Check this out. Alright, so now this is looking a little bit more and more dangerous for Weiman. You know, just keep in mind that one misclick means instant death for either player. Oh man, and this engagement I think is not going to favor Weiman, but his upgrades are better, and it looks like he's slowly but surely coming out on top in all of this. Again, guys, Hellbat, strong unit. Superior tank count. It's just absurd how many tanks he has. But behind this, you know, we've got another base going down for Joker. He's on 5 base income. But also, I need to bring this to your attention. The motion sensor tower here is going to be destroyed, and it looks like these Marines... You know, this is a quick-moving mobile bio-ball, as opposed to the slow-moving tanks that we see here. And speaking of slow-moving, well, just moving altogether, we're not going to see these Marines getting out of here alive. No, sir. But excellent way to buy for time. Checking the income right now, it's strongly in favor of Joker. This is going to allow him to get the upgrades that he so needs, that he so desperately needs. He's going to allow him to get them out faster and possibly in double of what we see from Weiman. Weiman just now throwing down his 4th command center, and we're going to see essentially Joker getting further and further ahead, slowly but surely. I mean, don't get me wrong, that last engagement was kind of not in favor of him. He's got to have, you know, just the absolute perfect upgrades. He's already got 3-3 on Marines and Marauders. And if he stims into this right now, I'm thinking it could be good for him, but oh boy. He throws down a scan here, and one of his opponent's tanks is getting hit. Sieging up, moving back. Oh, and that one Marine! Oh man. That guy took one for the team, poor guy. Oh man. That was actually pretty fun to watch. You know, it all depends on where your opponent's eyes are, and if they're not on the ball, then they're dead wrong. Again, another scan going down here, just making sure that he's got the superior tank count still. He's also got superior upgrades 0-3, soon to be 2-2. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I was reading the upgrades wrong. Joker actually has 0-2, while we have Weiman at 2-2, and that's really going to make a huge difference when it comes into those tank shots. I'm not sure how many shots a siege tank can take for another with, you know, the upgrade differences accounted for. But trust me, you know, with superior armor upgrades, it will make a noticeable difference between Weiman and Joker. Once you have 200-200, that's the only thing that constitutes the big difference. And the question is, how will this engagement go here? The Marauders are stemmed, so are the Marines. They're kiting all of these Hellbats, and I just don't know if this is going to work out for Joker or not. He's got an inferior anti-armored unit count. He's got tanks. Marauder got singled out and thrown away. I think, however, the Vikings will be able to keep these tanks safe from any kind of drop play that we may see in the near future. It's not going to happen, you know. All the tanks here just plowed through and powered through what Joker just had. If we check the supply count right now, supply difference, it's 63 works to 56, 2 Ravens, and I'm thinking right now we need to see Joker finally, you know, virtually account for all of his armor upgrades. This is a 5-base Terran versus a 4-base Terran, and this 4-base Terran essentially lost all of his, trying to think here, he lost his main and his natural at one point, come on. Almost, you know, a little absurd, really, in my opinion. But now it looks like, oh man, Hellbat drop on top of the tanks here. They unsiege just in time, and then they siege back up. And I want to say, like, there's almost nothing that Joker can really do versus this. I mean, it's kind of bad to say this. It's kind of mean to say this. It's kind of, you know, I don't want to shout imbalanced, but there's really nothing he can do versus all of this. You know, if he tries to bring a Banshee into the play, there's all these Vikings here, and even if he could cloak, I mean, there's some Ravens here, full HP. They don't have to throw out a Raven Hunter Seeker missile to get the Banshee. We see that the Raven count is actually increasing for Weiman just a little bit, slowly but surely. Stemming up all these Marines. I'm not sure if he was meaning to actually throw them away or not. I would say that a single volley of Viking missiles could actually kill all of those Marines in a single medevac, or 2 or 3 medevacs for that matter. But I mean, hey. We do have Vikings out on the map now for Joker. They do not have superior upgrades. These guys actually have armor upgrades. They will make a difference eventually. And speaking of armor upgrades, we actually see Terran, vehicle, and ship plating level 1 on the way for Joker, while we see Weiman slowly but surely asserting his territory over that of Joker. I don't know, Vikings trying to burn away this point defense drone. It's going to fall with the next shots, I think. There, it actually does fall. We do have Ravens in the mix as well. They're going to be able to keep everything safe on the ground from everything except for tank shots. Meanwhile, Hunter Seeker missiles going in, and this looks like to be one of the penultimate engagements in the game. Marauder stemmed up, and we have the Weiman tank army just moving in through all of this, and I don't think we're going to see Joker be able to hold against this. He only has so many Marauders. He stems up. They're useless versus Hellbats. They really are, guys. I just don't know what else to say. Now, Weiman trying to move back into this. He's, you know, his Planetary Fortress is really only attacking 1 or 2 units. It was a siege tank just now. Planetary Fortress here will fall inevitably. And now this is just almost unbelievable what we're seeing here, guys. There is 1 Viking in the mix, only 1 Viking for Weiman. If we could see it fall, then I think we could see some, I don't know, I think we could see SCV drops onto these tanks, and it would actually kill a good deal of them. Yeah, look at that, look at that. Mules are actually getting dropped onto that. Joker just says, GG, I don't want to deal with this. No, yeah, he had the superior base, the superior base count. You know, everything except for, I want to say, his tank upgrades, his tank numbers were always low. I don't know what to say here. It seems very I wouldn't say transparent, but apparent. Just what the hell was wrong here. I do need to highlight, however, I feel maybe just a little bit that the Hellbats are a little imbalanced. They're not heavy armored. They're light armored units. You know, I mean, so they can take, let me think here, full upgrades, maybe 3 or 4 siege tank shots before before falling again with or without full upgrades. I can't say. Anyway, guys, if you liked what you saw here today, just I guess go ahead and click on the subscribe button. This has been Breaker. I'll see you guys next time.